My dad had always been really strong and really healthy. He didn't experience many health problems at all, and we just started noticing that some things were changing. He just wasn't himself and just kind of started to get the feeling that something wasn't right. When the doctor came to talk to us, I just remember vividly the words, "It's not good news." And so he shared with us that he had stage 4 small bowel cancer and he couldn't remove any of it and it was inoperable, and it was devastating. We began to accept the fact that his life was going to be shorter than we all wanted it to be. But the challenge of the disease and the symptoms were so overwhelming, and there just wasn't any place to turn.
Palliative care is a unique type of care. For most of us going to the physician or our medical provider, we're going there for one particular problem, but often there's a myriad of other things that we are dealing with emotionally, spiritually, and socially that don't get attended to. And often the medical provider just simply does not have the time to address those needs that we have. So palliative care is really a confluence of all of those types of services coming together in one entity to not only treat and care for and support for the patient, but very importantly support the family as well.
Palliative care provides the medical means of enabling a person to live as best they can with any serious illness, regardless of their diagnosis, their stage of disease, their treatment, or their prognosis. A broad array of services will be available through the Palliative Care Center, including obviously medical services, nursing services, but also social work services, be it grief counseling or dealing with social issues in the family.
Palliative Care Center for our family would have been vital for us to get through this. We needed it. There was just so much more to this disease than just the cancer. We see our dad suffering. We see our dad not being able to make the most of each day, and that's who he was. He wanted to make the most of every day, and there was something missing that wouldn't allow him to do that. The oncologist was focused on the cancer. They were focused on what is the cancer doing right now. And that's no knock on the doctor. The doctor was doing the job that the doctor does. There just wasn't a lot of attention paid to the symptoms. And for any cancer patient, that's the reality for them. That's what they're suffering from the most, is the symptoms. So they need people, a person, a group to come around them and be willing to talk about those symptoms and be willing to address them.
In 2005, my husband was diagnosed with colorectal cancer, and he was treated with chemotherapy and radiation. And several years later, it metastasized to his lungs. We had a huge community who supported us. We asked for nothing, and we received everything. The love, the support, the time alone, whatever we needed. And I can't imagine what we would have done without that. And not everyone has that. When I heard about the Palliative Care Center, I thought that everyone can have what we had in terms of that whole person support.
My hopes for the center? That in this age of medical technology and innovation, that we emphasize the aspects of caring, compassion, concern, and expertise that technology cannot provide. That can only be provided by human care. That can only be provided by people who are expert in what they do, who have a clear idea of what the patient's needs are, and are emotionally and professionally able to respond to those needs.
My hopes and dreams for this centre is that it will become a light within our community for patients with serious illness and their families, that it becomes a resource, a specialised centre providing true pain and symptom management that's state-of-the-art. It's so truly needed, and we don't have it in our community right now. We need to make it happen.